Hey everybody, Cordon here with an episode of Winning the Weekly since we got a new weekly out. This is going to be Rise of the Machines. You can get this card back here, and I'm going to give you drafting tips to probably, and most likely, and hopefully help you with doing it. Alright, let's go in and see what we got. So we're going to be playing with Magnus, Grookly, Cornelius, and Otis. Weekly modifiers are Extreme Burning. Burn does do multiple damage to the target if they have 2 or less curses. I don't think this really helps you out much unless you're just having Grookly and Magnus sit there and do nothing except maybe defend, because you're going to be applying bleed and Magnus is going to be applying slow and vulnerable with his Captain's Howl. So it's mostly enemies get to use this on you, which can be very bad because that is very damaging, especially on the last boss. But you can hopefully find some rains and ways to get rid of the burning if you play much. Or, yeah, find this stuff. Alright, you can actually craft healing rains at the altars, or the rest sites and the altars. Alright, Contained Fury. Fury increases damage by 2% per charge, but no longer applies bleed at the end of turn. That's going to stop bleed from happening on Grookly, which is kind of bad for extreme burning, but also good because it stops the bleed on Grookly. Double boons. Whenever you receive a boon, receive an additional copy. That's only for certain events, and with my run I didn't actually see any events that gave boons, so be on the lookout for those. Spiritual Monsters is Holy Shadow Mind resistance plus 10% for monsters, which kind of stinks for Otis, but not really since his big things are fire damage with his 2 level up abilities. Vigorous Monsters is bad because monster HP plus 25%, and Lucky event rolls are easier. Is very good for the group rolls. It doesn't really affect the individual rolls at all because most of those are just a specific card. Anyways, let's get me out of here and go for what you've all been waiting for, the card lists. So boop. And the cards will be posted in the description below, or so you can just look at them without my things on them. This week I did 2 different builds for everybody, with blue being usually a more defensive. I'll say what the blue and red ones are, but usually I pick blue for more defensive and red for more offensive. So with Magnus here, I'd advise going Warlord, Commander, and Defender. Defender mostly for this Entrench. Warlord so you can apply some shield and heals with the Vitality. And for a more offensive role, I'm going to lead into the Bleed with Grookly, with Blood Feeding to keep him up, since Grookly's going to be applying a lot of Bleed. Battle Plan and Piercing Howl just for slow and going through your deck. The Bleed Out for doubling bleed on all enemies, which is very good if you get a good Grookly turn. All In is just really good, in my opinion, when you can just dump your whole hand and do a bunch of damage to the front 2 monsters, and maybe even the 3rd monster. And Spike Ball is kind of eh. Alright, let's go to Grookly. Grookly, I have the bleed build in red. Well, that's supposed to be blue right here. How dare it shift. Alright, fixed it. I thought I had this all fixed. How dare. Alright. Bleed build in red with Blood Feeding Corrupted. Axeman to do a bunch of bleed elsewhere. And then I picked random just because I love this Wrecking Ball yellow because it's just a bunch of damage on everything. But you can probably go with something like the Furious Slash because there's a lot of fury there. Or Gladiator for just bleed on everything. The blue build is for Crack and AoE. I really didn't find a good crack items or crack build though, so I wouldn't recommend it too much, but getting 2 yellow Wrecking Balls is always very good for cleared out hallway fights. And then the Shield Breaker is actually really good for the last boss, the Shield Breaker here, because it breaks the enemy shields, and that stops the last boss from hitting you with lasers on a Cornelius AoE turn. Alright, let's go ahead and check out Cornelius. Cornelius, I have the red fire build if you're going just straight burn damage, which is good. And then blue is an ice/frost build that makes use of the 2 blue shatters you get. Or the 2 yellow shatters, that's what I meant to say. The 2 yellow shatters will help Grookly and Magnus if you decide to do blunt builds this week, which is pretty cool. But yeah, fire is really good this week. And fire is always good in general. And one other tip of advice I have for you is this Firestorm here. Upgrade it as soon as possible to the one that applies fire or burn to all enemies twice, because that is god tier on Cornelius. It's like probably the best spell in the game for him, in my opinion. Alright, let's go to Otis. Otis, I have this generic red for DPS, blue for support and healing. I prefer the DPS build in most weeklies and Obelisk mode just because Sanctify, I think, heals a lot more than shielding does, just because Otis doesn't get the plus 12 shield that you get in Adventure mode. You can only get that to plus 2, so it's kind of eh. But Sanctify, you get pretty much the full value, especially from his level 3 and level 1s and level 2s, level 3s, and level 4s. But yeah, we take the Divine Insight with the Fanaticism, Divine Guidance, and the Holy Storm. And just like Firestorm with Cornelius, you want to upgrade this to have Sanctify instead of just being the regular one. And then this Divine Power is just really good for buffing up Cornelius or Grookly with that. Kind of see there's a lot of Dispels, big heals. And then I got the Dilute and Dispel Magic in there for 2 ways to get rid of burn on characters. And Dilute is you draw 1 and apply Wet, so it's a net free card for dispelling burn on allies. Alright, let's go to a sample draft here and see what we got. Let's go. Get back here. Alright, Magnus, I'm going to go more defensive on this one. So for the Magnus build, we go reroll everything. And hit Warlord, Defender, Commander. And we're going to take the Stockade, we're going to take Vitality, we're going to take Speed, Slow, and Vulnerable. Powerful and Reinforced are also pretty good, but not much is hitting you physically, in my opinion, for this one. Alright, Grookly, we're going to try his Bleed out. So we're going to go with the first Marauder. And then hit the Axeman and random packs after a reroll. There's the random pack. And Axeman. And we're going to take this Carnage. We're going to go Fury, Powerful. I think Sharp for Sharpen on a Bleed build is good. And then Bleed. Of course. Can't forget the Bleed on a Bleed build. Our Cornelius, we're just going to get him with the generic fire, so we're going to hit that first random pack. And then re-roll into Wizard and Inferno and take that Flame Strike. And then with Cornelius, we go Powerful Fire Burn always. We're going to do fire damage and speed. HP might be good too if you're worried about him getting just teamed up on, but should be good. Alright, for Otis, we're going to play the more defensive Otis. We're going to take the Crusader after Devotee. Actually, that's the wrong pick. I meant to pick Shaman. Oh well. He'll be fine. Actually, we're going to change him to DPS role. We're going to take this Divine Insight and hope that... Oh, Java update. Thank you. Brilliant timing. We're going to pick Burn for him too. Alright. So this, if you're going the cold with Cornelius, definitely take that book. But we're going to put the War Banner on him. We're going to put the Mana Potion here. We're going to put the Garnet Earrings on Magnus so he heals up a little bit every turn. And Otis can take the potion. Alright, then we'll do one sample fight. Now here, I would either go up to this one or down to this one, since there's extra nodes if you take this path. Or take this path. So we're going to go down, since I didn't go down last time. We're going to pick this. Omen of Peril is pretty good. Or Corrupted Omen of Peril is pretty good if you're playing a healer Otis. Alright, let's see. We get Captain's Hell, and Stockade right away. We can do a little Fast Strike in there too. Alright, so I think we play Carnage into Vigorous Fury, into a Cleave. And that damages everything pretty well. Don't get bit. Open for Flame Strike, we did not get it. We can put a Scroll of Intellect on Otis, so if he draws the big spell, we can cast it. So we're going to do Inner Fire into Firestorm. That kills almost everything. Please don't dodge. Okay, he's not dodging. That's good for us. And we did not get our Divine Insight, but Holy Storm will take care of everything. Can we get a heal off? Yeah, we can play that to heal, and then pop. Everything's dead, including you. And that's it for the first fight. We got excellent. Elemental Ward might be good. Rain kind of dispels your own stuff, which kind of stinks. Holy Nova is always good, but we're gonna pass. Helping Hand is kind of good on Magnus, so take that. We're gonna see what this is. This is Teach Me the Moves, and we don't want that. But if you do go up this way, this node right here is an Apothecary. You're gonna want to do that and pay the money for giving everybody 15% resistances, even though you get a slime or poison curse in your deck. But 15% resistances is just like getting a high-end armor for free, and that lasts the whole game for you. But that'll be it. Remember to brush your teeth and be good. Thank y'all, and have a good morning, day, night. Be well, brush teeth. Bye.